and welcome back to another episode of Game Overcast. My name is David Kaelin. I am the Game Over CEO, and thank you for joining us today. Is it today?
It is today.
How can you screw up the first line of the show?
We made it.
This guy. Yeah. So we made it. It's Friday, everybody. Woo! Yay! It is nice doing the show on Fridays because everybody's already automatically programmed to be happy on Fridays, right? If there's one day of the week that it's really hard to feel crappy on, it's a Friday. Am I right?
Yeah.
Dan says, Well, I think Friday, like, of all the days of the week, Friday's got to be the happy day, right? You know, hump day and Wednesday, you're starting to feel good. You know, Monday's never good for anybody. That's just back to work day. That's rough. You know, the weekends sometimes are kind of hectic and stressful. You know, nobody cares about Tuesdays and Thursdays, you know, unless you're getting tacos on Tuesday.
Midweek.
Yeah, so it's all about Friday, really. It's all about Friday.
It is.
So
You're right
so
about that.
yeah, so it's a fact. Fridays rule. So that's why the show's on Friday, because we rule. So anyway, so we're back with Game Overcast. So thank you for joining us. I have a good show planned today. I have actually a lot of notes, so I had a little extra time to prepare for a change. But anyway, so yeah, we are ready for the show. It is August. It is hot. Most of the entire country is just baking this summer. I think in Texas it hasn't rained in like 2 months. We've been 100 degrees or higher for like 2 or 3 months.
My lawn's gone.
What'd you say, Dan?
My lawn's destroyed.
Your what is destroyed?
My lawn.
Oh, your lawn. Oh yeah, everybody's lawn. Yeah, Texas is like, it's not like Arizona where everything is like sand. So there is grass in Texas, but all the grass is dead. Like everything green is dead. So we're just surviving on love and air conditioning right now. So definitely try and keep those things going in your life. But let's jump into the video game related part of the show, which is really all of it. So let's go to level 1 now in current events, see what's going on in the world of gaming. And we're back with level 1, current events. So what's going on in the world of gaming? I actually have a lot of little news stories to tell you today. So I've been stocking up since CGF. Last show was kind of all about CGF, and so now we're getting back to normal, and there's been, you know, some news. And I know everyone gets their news right here on Game Overcast.
That's it.
Don't look anywhere else.
Nope.
There is this internet that exists, and sometimes there's other news on there, but it's normally not important. This is the important stuff. So thank you for joining us for the serious news channel that is Game Overcast. In gaming news, this is reported on TheVerge.com. U.S. consumer spending on video games dropped in the last quarter. Do you believe that? I guess with inflation and everything, the economy and war and stuff, I don't know. But the last quarter. So quarter 2 of 2022. So the past 3 months, like April, May, and June, those 3 months, it dropped by $2 billion with a B. Billion.
I mean, I have
$2
some
billion.
theories as to why. COVID is over.
But why is COVID over hurting video game sales?
Because COVID helps video game sales.
Well, yeah, people bought to play, but like
There was a bump.
they're still into it now.
There's a bump, and then we came back down to normal. And
Okay, so Dan thinks everybody's back to work now. Everybody's back to work. Nobody has time to play video games
nothing
anymore.
ever comes out in the summer. Summer's not when video games are launched.
That's true. The good games never come out in the summer. That is true. But, well, for all of those things and just general inflation and consumer spending changes and stuff like that, but a $2 billion drop in 1 quarter in just 3 months, that's a lot. You know, that's what, $750 million a month. That's a lot. So anyway, so total sales in quarter 2 were $12.3 billion, which is down 13% from the same time last year. So, yeah. So I guess COVID is over, and now we can all worry about monkeypox and other stuff. But yeah, that sucks that spending has been down. But and I guess also a lot of, just in general, not just summertime, but like there haven't been a lot of great titles coming out lately.
Yeah.
You know, remakes and stuff like that, but no blockbuster new IP or anything. Yeah. Anyway, so here's the breakdown. So Sony was down 26%, Microsoft down 11%, Nintendo estimated about 10% down. So everybody's down. So yeah. Wow. Sorry, video game market. Hopefully we'll get better. We'll get better in the fall.
Bad.
But you know, we always end the year strong. So the video game market is definitely going to pick up come Christmas time. So anyway, so that's that story. Then we got news about Henry Cavill. You know who that is? You know who that is, Dan? Who's Henry Cavill?
He's the quarterback.
No, he's not a quarterback.
The San Francisco Rangers.
No, that is wrong in every way. That is not even.
He's the goalie.
No. That is like 3 different teams and 3 different sports and 2 different positions, and they're all wrong. Okay, so Henry Cavill is Superman, the DC Universe Superman.
I love him.
I love him too. He's super cool.
Too.
And The Witcher, yes. So he's The Witcher and the Supermaner. So he's super cool. But he had posted online that he's a big gamer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
We knew this.
Did you know that? Well, Dan knew it. Did you know this?
He plays
fans?
He plays
I don't know.
PC.
Yeah, he plays on PC. That's the thing. He said that I saw this article about him that he put new fans in his PC. Like he's built PCs.
Oh, yeah.
And he has a custom PC, and his fans broke, and so he put in some new ones, and he was posting online, like, or on Instagram or something. Ooh, I got these super cool, sweet, quiet fans, and I put them in my new PC. And he plays World of Warcraft, and he plays stuff like that online, and I just thought that was really cool. That I guess a lot of times famous people aren't into the same stuff that just everyday people are into, and so that's kind of cool that he's a big gamer, and he actually can work on his own PC. That's pretty cool. Also interesting facts that you may or may not know about him, but when he first got the job to be Superman, I almost said Spider-Man. Not you. You're not Henry Cavill.
That's a different man.
That's a different man. But when Zack Snyder was calling him to give him the role or offer him the role of Superman, that he missed the call because he was playing World of Warcraft. So he said literally he was gaming when he got that call, and then had to call him back because he just got the voicemail or whatever. Had to call him back after his Warcraft session. So that's kind of funny. So he's a big gamer. He was asked about like Xbox and PlayStation and stuff, and like which is his favorite console, and he answered PCs. Yeah. So he likes PC. He's a big time PC gamer. But anyway, so I thought that was cool. So Henry Cavill, I hope you come back as Superman. I know there's been a lot of crap going on in the DC world lately, and
I don't care about any of that, David. I just want another Witcher season.
You want another Witcher?
Yeah.
So do you prefer him as the Witcher or as Superman?
I don't give a shit about Superman.
Why would you not give a shit about Superman? He was awesome as Superman.
No, I'm sure he was fine. I just don't care about Superman
in general. Yeah. Superman it's so tame compared to like, modern superhero movies and stuff, but like I thought he did a great job as Superman. He looks the part, he acts the part, and I thought the movie was good. And and then everything else like Batman, Superman, and Justice League, and everything else, just DC is always kind of bleh.
I'm just not a superhero
so
guy.
I don't know.
You need more Witcher.
Need more Witcher.
Yeah.
I watched Witcher the first season, and I never went back to watch the second one, but I guess I need to go back and watch it.
Second season's better.
Because I got shit going on, dude. I don't even have time for this. What do you mean, why?
What are you doing?
The only answer to any question of why doesn't David do this? It's always he doesn't have any time. I don't have time for the show. I don't have time for this job. I don't have time for CGF. I don't have time for anything.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. I'm done. But anyway, so back to the news. So let's see. In other news, Yahoo reported that in quarter 2, again 2022.
Wait, who reported?
Yahoo News. Yahoo still exists.
What?
Don't look at me like Yahoo what?
Really?
Yahoo.com is one of like the original OG websites. It used to be like Yahoo and AOL used to like rule the world.
Oh, look at Yahoo. They've got news.
Yeah, it's like a news page.
Wow.
I'm trying to give credit to the people whose information I steal for these news stories. So I'm trying to be a good, reporter.
Good.
And I'm citing my sources, just like I was taught in school by my teachers.
Good job.
Thank you. So Yahoo has reported that, looking at quarter 2 again, that 99% of the top gaming streamers on YouTube, Facebook Gaming, and Twitch are all men. So that may not be surprising, but that is really sad, isn't it?
Yeah, what's the deal?
So basically, out of the top 100, only one was female. So 99% are not female, or at least not biologically female.
What's the percentage
Who knows?
of all content creators?
I don't know. I don't have any of the other breakdown, but just of the top 100, that's pretty sad. And so I thought, this is me being dumb and kind of naive in the world of social media, but like I thought, okay, so only one out of the top 100 gaming streamers was female. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to find this female and like promote her on the show and her channel or whatever, and show some love and see what I can get my 100 viewers to do. And so I looked it up. So her name is Kaelin Amarath Siragusa.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Dan knows who it is. So like, I might be the only person that doesn't know who this is. But so okay, it goes under the name Amaranth. So I looked that up, online on my computer thingy, and so I look up her channels and her streams and everything, and I didn't see much gaming related stuff.
It's not.
You know what I saw?
It's for adults.
Yeah.
It's for grown-ups.
Yeah, Dan says it's for adults.
But
It's for adults. Like every picture on there is what you would expect of a very high viewership streamer. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. It's so bad. It's but it's when you see women online that have huge viewers, you'd like to think that it's the content of the quality of their channel and stuff, but like what I saw didn't seem like that was the case. It seemed like a lot of pictures of her body, her chest. She has an OnlyFans and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like I didn't see anything about gaming and stuff like that. So I don't know how she's even in this poll. So technically, 100% are men because she doesn't count to me.
If I remember
that's
correctly,
not a gamer.
If I remember correctly, she doesn't have an OnlyFans.
She had a link to OnlyFans on there.
She does?
Yeah, she's got an OnlyFans. I mean, and
Then maybe she
the
does.
regular stuff is borderline, but I'm sure the OnlyFans is really
She
interesting.
uses her income. She buys businesses. She ons like 5 gas stations.
She owns gas
She owns
stations.
property. Yeah. She's
Well, at least she's investing the money wisely.
she's very smart.
It still doesn't make her a gamer, though. I don't know. How is she on the list of top gaming streamers? Because I didn't see a single link or a single title or a single picture related to gaming whatsoever on any of her channels.
That I don't know.
All I saw
know
was
that
the
she's
kind of
business
look at
savvy.
me, here's my flesh, type stuff.
I know that she's
And-
business savvy. That's all.
Well, that's good, and she may be, and that's fantastic. But she may be the top, percentile of streamers, and it may be super interesting, and she's may have a lot of fantastic qualities. But the one thing that I was kind of irked by is there was only 1 out of 100 that was noted as being female in the top gaming streamers, and I couldn't find a single mention of gaming on her channels. So, oh well. So now I just promoted her anyway. Damn it.
It's not like she needed it.
Yeah, she didn't need it. But anyway, so much for me trying to help support women, because I inadvertently just promoted
why
one
don't
that's
you-
like it seems to exude the worst of
She
like
doesn't
women
need it.
streamers.
Why don't you promote a woman who needs?
I know. I need to find
you
up and
think
coming
is good.
female streamers
Yeah.
that actually like contribute like positive good content. But I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of streamers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, if you're listening and you're a female streamer,
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Thanks, Dan.
There you go.
I know I had Dan here for something.
you got it.
Yeah. So Dan had a great idea. Like if you are or know a great high quality gaming related streamer, post in the comments on YouTube or on Facebook or something, or email me at info@gameovervideogames.com or podcast@gameovervideogames.com. Those will come through me and yeah, let me know who it is and I'll promote them on the show instead, because I'd love to promote a female, gaming streamer. But yeah, little did I know that apparently the top one in the country or whatever is, not really like gaming related.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on. So in more retro gaming news, I've talked about the Lego Atari sets, and they are super cool, and there's a lot of pictures and info online now, and they are now available. So go get it.
Yes.
So turn this show off, pause it, go watch, go out to your store, your local Lego store or Target or Walmart, I guess, I don't know, and pick one up because they're really cool. So go get one of those. Very cool. Also, another retro news, Retrobit, who has the license to Sega stuff now. So they've been making a brand new line of first-party, like Sega brand, Sega style, Sega, design peripherals. They're putting out a new controller. So we've had the Sega. I should have brought examples, but I didn't. I'm not prepared, I guess. But the original Sega controller, right? It looks kind of like the Batwing,
Yes.
and it has 3 buttons on it. And then they came out with the 6-button one, which was a little like curvy on the sides, and it was smaller, and it had the 6 buttons. And this one that they're making is a combination of the 2, so it's called the Big 6. And so basically, it's the big Batwing kind of shape, but it has the 6 buttons on it.
Oh.
So, but it's going to be Sega licensed, Sega branded. you know, all improved like technology and everything in there. They're going to have a Genesis compatible one, a wireless one, and a USB one, so you can use it on, you know, like anything pretty much. So anyway, those are coming out, and they are going to be available at your local Game Over video game store.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Thank you.
There it is.
Yeah. So, and then last news story, which I'm sure a lot of people already know because this is always one of the biggest game releases of the year. You know, we were talking about not a lot of games coming out, but this one's coming out soon. Madden Football, one of the biggest of the year, comes out every year in August. So I guess it's the official kickoff of the fall gaming season. But that comes out August 19th. So if you happen to own some older Madden titles, they're now officially worthless.
Oh my God.
Or worth very little. So if you come trade them in at Game Over or any other, you know, kind of gaming store, be prepared for some sticker shock because you're going to get offered like 5 cents for it for the older one. But yeah, the new ones are out August 19th. So everybody can get the new game, the new rosters, and the new graphics or enhancements or whatever they do. I don't know. They change like a couple things every year, but who knows? Yeah. The new one's coming out. So that's it. That's all the news. So now let's jump to level 2, and we're going to do company info and find out what is happening at your local Game Over video game store. And we're back with level 2, company info, and let's see what's happening at your local Game Over video game store. Well, we're doing some sales, as we do every week.
Ayo.
Ayo. Do you love sales?
I do.
I love sales.
And snails.
No, not snails. Snails are cool, but, you know, they move too slow. Sales go fast. You got to get them in that week or they're gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like snails.
Okay, Dan prefers snails to sales. I like sales to snails.
I like both equally.
You like them both equally?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what was I talking about? Oh, sales. Sales. Let's do that. So, sales from August 5th through 11th, which is basically right now when you're watching this show, probably. It's a Game Gear blowout sale. All of our Game Gear games are 25% off. You can get it in stores at any of our 12 retail locations near you, or online at GameOverVideogames.com. And when you check out there, just use coupon code GG25. That's an easy code, Game Gear 25, GG25. So I actually made the code kind of easy that week. Then after that, if you want a little sneak preview into the future, I'm going to look into the future.
Let's see it.
Okay, in the future. Okay, I have it now. The next sale after that is going to be August 12th through the 18th, and that sale is going to be on Sega Master System. So we're doing 25% off all the used games for Sega Master System. And you can do that in stores or online as well, and the online code is SMS for Sega Master System 25. So you do that and you can save money online. So those are the next two sales. Also, this month for August, we have a new trade bounty. So we're doing extra bumped up values on Sega Dreamcast games this month. So the games are going to vary by store, though. Each store has certain ones that like they need for stock or their customers have requested and stuff like that. So each store is going to have a different list of Dreamcast games. So check your local Game Over store when you go in if you have some extra like double copies of any Dreamcast games and bring them in. We're paying more than usual for those. So we would love to have them. Also, upcoming store events, we've got some of our free retro gaming tournaments coming up soon. Some of our stores do tournaments every month. There's 5 stores that do it, one in each major market that we operate in. And the next event is August 13th, which is a Saturday that's like right around the corner. So put that on your schedule. So Saturday, August 13th is the next tournament day. And that's going to be our store in Bellevue, Washington, the store in Arlington, Texas, the store in South Austin on South Lamar, the store in Selma, Texas, which is just outside San Antonio, and the store on 1960 in the Houston area. So definitely check those out for some cool, fun retro gaming tournaments. Their Facebook pages will show the details of what the games are, what the sign-up time is, the rules, all that kind of good stuff. But it's a lot of fun, and it's free, so it's low pressure. You know, just come check it out and hang out with some local gamers near you. Also, in new Game Over product news, I brought a lot of cool new products on the show that we have in our stores. They're available now or going out to our stores now. So I'm going to show you those real quickly. Hi, Stuart.
Hello.
Sorry, we have a huge crowd watching the show today. Huge crowd.
Studio audience.
Studio audience, yeah. I mean, it's a live show, and we've got hundreds of people now that just come every week just to see me do this show. It's fantastic. All right, so cool new products. So you should see all this stuff in the background. Yeah, I call them all Stuart just because I can't know all their names. There's hundreds of them. So they're all Stewart or Mrs. Stewart. I don't know. What's the female version of Stewart? It'd be
Stewette.
Stewette? Stacy?
My brother used to call me Stewina.
Stewina? Stews and Stewinas. All right, so new products. So you like new stuff? Do you like cool stuff? You like gaming related stuff? Well, good, because I have some of that. So here we go. All right, so we got Retro Fighters controllers. Lots of new ones. We've got, let me see, I should have probably organized these before the show. So let me do a little quick sorting here. So we've got, for Nintendo 64, shoot, look at this.
Ooh.
So cool new controllers. These are all wireless, and they're like 2.4 gigahertz, you know, frequency, so you don't have to like point it at the thing and sit like 2 feet away. So they actually work decently. Yeah, they're good, solid controllers. It's a more comfortable style than the original 64 with the, you know, the three legs for your 3 hands. So these are for two-handed customers.
I have one of the wired ones.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
You have a wired one? Yeah, they're good. They're really good. And so we got restocked on those recently. These are all the wireless ones. So these are all $49 each, but cool colors. You know, these two are kind of clear to match the like the fruit style systems, the orange and what did they call them? This was watermelon.
Flame and watermelon.
Flame and watermelon. Okay, I was gonna say, like, I know they had weird, you know. Anyway, this one's gray. This is plain and basic like me.
Vanilla.
All right, plain vanilla. That's my nickname, plain vanilla. All right, then we've also got, these are brand new. So these haven't been sold before. This is brand new products from them and for Game Over. These are their PlayStation style ones. So we got black, we got blue, we got green, and we got PS1 style gray. So these are actually sold for PlayStation 1 or 2, and it comes with the controller adapter in there. So they're wireless, but it has the sensor. Also, they include a USB sensor, too, so you can use it on PS3 or PC, also, or Switch even, or really anything with the USB. They can use it on the classic, like, mini consoles, too.
Per third-party PlayStation controllers, the triangle, square, circle, X are all kind of weird looking.
Yes.
Because
Sony copyrighted the shapes. Yes, they did. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point, though. Like, these are actually pretty normal looking. I mean, they're not the same as the Sony ones. If you look closely, like, this is like 2 triangles that look kind of like a swirl, and then it's 2 circles, and the X is, I can't really tell. It looks like 2 lines. I guess that's their thing, is they double it. Like, there's 2 lines or 2 circles.
Yeah. Gotta do something.
You have to do something different because, yes, Sony has trademarked the actual shapes of those symbols on those buttons, so you can't you can't copy it. But these look really cool to me, and they're wireless. And this one especially, like for a PS1 controller, to get like a cool modern wireless controller for PS1 that's this color gray that looks like this looks like it was made by Sony back in the day.
It looks really comfortable too. As
yes.
Opposed to the original PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
Yeah. It's been one that's endured the test of time, though. I mean, because basically Sony hasn't really changed their controller that much. Like the style, those 2 little wings, you know, it's still...
PS4 onward is very different.
It's not that different, though.
Very different.
Okay, well, Dan thinks it's different. I differ on that. But anyway, so these are available now.
Great,
so these are cool. So if you need cool wireless controllers for your PS1, 2, 3, PC, Switch, or anything else that you just need a controller for, those are cool. So all that is available now at GameOverVideogames.com. So buy some today. And they'll be coming to our local stores soon, too. Some of the local stores have them, but some of the local stores, it takes a while. You know, we use Pony Express to deliver all of our stuff, so it takes a while sometimes. So then, records. You know, we love vinyl records.
Banana Jams.
Banana Jams.
Let's do it.
This is the not quite official soundtrack to Donkey Kong Country.
Love it.
So.
Gotta jam those bananas.
Yeah. So, very cool. Donkey Kong Country soundtrack. So that's vinyl. Then we've got, let's see if I can do this. Bomberman. And this is 1 and 2, I think. Let me look at it here. Yeah, Bomberman 1 and 2.
Give me this.
Dan, what are you doing? You're messing up the whole thing, Dan.
No, I'm just taking a picture of it.
You gotta take a picture of it now?
Yes.
They're available on GameOverVideogames.com. Okay, let's start over. No. So Bomberman 1 and 2. And then, look at that, Breath of Fire. Very cool. So, this one's 2 records. I think this is a 1 LP, and this is 1 LP. Yeah, so these are each 1. This is double records, so very cool stuff. So, This and many other vinyl record soundtracks to video games are available in our stores and on GameOverVideogames.com. So, all you kids love your records. You love music that's portable, that's easy to carry. Look, these come in these very convenient, very thin sleeves. Look how thin it is.
Ooh.
It takes up hardly any space that way.
That's vinyl.
Okay.
Banana jams.
Banana jams.
I wear my banana jams to bed.
Do you? Yeah, Dan has banana jams that he wears to bed. That's cool. All right. Well, let's move on to Classic Game Fest news. So CGF,
There's
biggest
still
retro
Classic
event in
Game
Texas.
Fest news?
Yes.
Jeez.
There's always, year-round. So the biggest classic gaming event in Texas, one of the biggest in the country. We just had the 2022 event, 2 weeks ago? I guess. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So start planning for next year. Same time, July 20. It's the 22nd, 23rd next year. So basically that same weekend, right near the end of July next summer. We're not quite doing ticket sales or vendor booth sales yet, but we'll be doing that probably September, October-ish. But we are doing surveys. So if you came to the event this year and you want to give us some feedback, let us know how it went. If you're a vendor, let us know how you did at your booth and how you liked the show. And if you're an attendee, let us know, how your experience was and, what you liked as far as like the vendors and the events and the guests and stuff like that. And any suggestions for next year for, who you want to have us bring out as a guest or who you want to hear as like a music performer or vendors you'd like to see. All that stuff, you can email us at info@classicgamefest.com. Or you can follow any of the Classic Game Fest social media channels, and they have links to these surveys. The URL is really complicated, so I can't say it on the show. It's just like X, Z, space, hashtag, whatever. It's some weird thing. But just look for our social media, and there'll be links to it, and you can go fill out a survey for us and let us know how we did. I know it was pretty stressful and we were shorthanded, but overall I think it went pretty smoothly for most people. So hopefully you had a great time. Also, a reminder that if you lost anything at CGF, we do have a little bin of lost and found stuff.
I lost a bunch of money.
You lost money? Yeah. There was no cash, but there were a lot of credit cards. I literally have a stack about this big of credit cards.
Oh, dang.
I don't know how people lose their credit cards, but don't you keep it like in a in a wallet in your pants or in a purse with that like zips on the top? Like, how are credit cards just all over the floor of CGF? I don't know, but we were like sweeping them up and it was like just a big pile of credit cards at the end of the show. So if you're missing a credit card, email us at info@classicgamefest.com and I'll see if I can match your name up against one of our credit cards. But yeah, it's pretty unreal. Like, this is the most amount of credit cards we ever had. It's like a stack like this big of credit cards. Nuts. Okay, so the other thing with CGF to update, T-shirts. So as you know, and I mentioned this on the show last week, and if you came to CGF, because you went looking for T-shirts and a lot of them weren't there. We sold a crap ton of T-shirts, which is great, but we sold out really fast on a lot of them, especially the larger sizes like 2X, 3X, 4X, and especially this style that I got one of, but we ran out of these suckers fast, the 15th anniversary official shirts. So what we're going to do is we're going to order more of these for a limited time. We're going to do one more order, one more like printing of them. So if you want one because you didn't get it, or you want one because you had to get some other style instead because you're like a 2X, 3X, 4X and we didn't have any of these left, or they just were totally sold out when you went to buy your T-shirts, email us, info@classicgamefest.com. And let me know basically, how many you want, what sizes and stuff like that. I'm going to put an order together for everybody. And then I can send you like invoices. We'll do the same price, like $20. You can pick it up in about a month once we get them all printed at either a local Game Over store, or we can ship them to you if you don't live near a Game Over store. But we'll kind of figure that out. I don't have the specific setup on the website yet, but I just want to let everybody know that we do want to address that problem and get some more shirts printed. So just email us, let us know what sizes you want, and we'll start, the process of the orders. We want to get everything in by, by the end of August. So by August 31st, let us know, that you want a certain size or, however many you want. We're going to put the order in September, and it takes about 2 to 4 weeks to get them. And so then by late September, early October, we'll have them, and, we'll do, invoices and shipping and whatnot and get them to you so that everybody that wanted a shirt can get a shirt. And again, we're really sorry we ran out at the show, but, who knew? I mean, we sold an amazing amount of T-shirts, and we had no idea. We sold about double what we sold the year before. So did we plan ahead? Yes. Did we buy more than the year before? Yes. Did we still run out? Yeah. Sorry. We'll try harder next year.
It happens.
You know, next year we'll order like thousands of shirts, and then they'll all, you know, just be piled up at the end because we'll have a ton of extra. But I don't know. It's hard to judge, you know, demand sometimes until you get into the actual event. But we are going to rectify this problem. So we are going to get you T-shirts. So have faith and just reach out by email. We'll hook you up with T-shirts. So more details on that to come. And we're sorry again for the shortage. So now let's go into level 3, the feature part of the show. And I was going to give you a teaser, but I'm not. So let's just go into level 3 and do the feature section. And we're back with level 3, the feature section. So today on the feature, what I'd like to do is go over another news story. I had a lot of news stories that I found this week, but this one I thought was so interesting that we could talk about it in an extended capacity in the feature. So there was an article that came out that ranked the most played games, video games, by state. So this is, I'm going to cite my source here. So Chris Felin, maybe. He might be a felon. I don't know. He's probably innocent until proven felon. But so from a site called Wealth of Geeks, and it was also reported on KSL TV number 5. So I guess that's Salt Lake City. I don't know. But so most popular game by state. And I thought this was really interesting. So apparently the way they put it together is a company called Minesweeper took all the data from the 25 most popular video games and then cross-referenced that with Google Trends and all the search data from the first half of 2022. Okay, so this is for the first half of this year based on search trends and like the current games that are out. So mixing those two things together. So it's part current games, part older games, but it's what was either played or searched for. You know, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Have I set it up?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So that's how they did it. And then they put it in a pot, stirred it up, and added a little dash of science, and then out came this. So here are the results. So GTA 5 was the big winner. Grand Theft Auto came out in 2013, so like 8 years ago. And that was number 1 in 15 of the 50 states. That I guess is still played today, still loved today. But still obviously searched for on Google and you know, people are asking for it, buying it, you know, searching for it, stuff like that. Most popular in 15 of the 30 states. I think there's 50 now. Wow. Didn't we just annex Hawaii or something? I don't know.
I'm sorry, what?
I said 20 states or 30 states or something.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we really have 50 states. So kids, in addition to being your only news source, I'm also a geography expert.
Why are we fascists now?
We're
the only source of information?
Well, you know, there's some other sources, but they're fake news. Everything else is fake news. So if you want the real gaming scoop, you know, there were some irregularities in this poll, by the way. And so I need some new election, you know, officials, and I'm going to call up some of these states and ask them to find me some extra votes because I think it's rigged in some places. Anyway, so yeah, GTA 15 times winner, which was really amazing. Doom was also the top in 3 states, which was pretty interesting because that came out in '93. That came out a long time ago. But of course, there have been a million different versions of Doom. There have been multiple versions of GTA and Grand Theft Auto Online, and some of the newer Doom games are still current games and still played and everything. So that's why those titles are, you know, those game. What's the word I'm thinking of? I don't know. Those games, like the broader game, is just so popular still today. So here's the breakdown. So I wanted to run through the states, and so Dan and Stuart, if you guys want to chime in, you can. You don't have to, but
right.
So I'm gonna run in the states, and we're gonna see how this, if this sounds true, like, you know, legit, or what our thoughts are here.
Okay.
So okay, Alabama, GTA.
Yeah,
Surprise? Sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alaska, God of War. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Arizona, Grand Theft Auto. Arkansas.
Yeah, anything like Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, any of that. Like,
anything with guns is big in the South. They like the guns in the South. So, yeah, Arkansas, Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's surprising.
That's kind of surprising.
Anything would be Horizon Zero Dawn.
California, God of War.
Okay.
Colorado, Elden Ring.
Really?
Yeah. Connecticut, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. and Delaware.
Nice.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Delaware.
Yeah, those are some cool places. District of Columbia, Hades. Okay.
Nice.
Florida, Portal.
I'm moving to Florida.
Georgia, Grand Theft Auto. Hawaii, Doom. I thought that one was interesting too. Like that didn't seem like a Doom
like
place.
2013?
Any of the Dooms, I guess.
Oh, like series. Okay.
It's also based. It's based on the current games, but also Google searches. So people are either playing it or searching for Doom.
Got it.
I don't know why you'd search for Doom in Hawaii.
Maneater.
Maneater.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see. Idaho was Hades. What is Hades? Like I haven't even seen Hades.
It's an indie game. Yeah.
It's a fun time.
Real good.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Is it like violent or is it like platformer or is it
like the
first person? What is
You're
it?
the son of Hades, the god of...
Son of Hades, okay.
And you're trying to escape, and so you go through like rooms, and it's like a top-down isometric view, kind of cartoony looking.
Top-down,
Highly
stylized action.
Very good.
Very good. Okay.
My game of the year last year.
Okay, well, if it's a good game, okay, that's cool. So they have some taste in those places. Okay. Illinois, Grand Theft Auto. Indiana, Grand Theft Auto. Iowa, Horizon Zero Dawn. Kansas, Doom.
Yeah.
Doom in Kansas.
Doom's awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Kentucky, Resident Evil 2. I don't know why. That's... Oh. Louisiana, God of War. Maine, Stardew Valley.
Aw.
Oh.
That tracks.
Don't you love Maine?
Yeah, I've been to Maine.
Maryland, Hades.
I don't know much about Maryland.
Massachusetts, Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's so boring. Come on, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Let's see. Michigan, Grand Theft Auto. Minnesota, Elder Scrolls 5. So that's Skyrim.
That's cool.
So, yeah. Mississippi, Grand Theft Auto. Missouri, Grand Theft Auto. Montana, The Witcher.
All right.
Yeah, Montana.
Kind of looks like The Witcher out there.
Yeah. Nebraska, God of War. Nevada, Horizon Zero Dawn. New Hampshire and New Jersey, both Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. So I guess in the Northeast, that game was just really big up there. I don't know.
The studio might be up there.
Yeah. Oh, Stuart's saying maybe the studio was up there. I don't know. That might be true. New Mexico, BioShock.
Okay.
Have they had a new BioShock game in a while?
No.
People are just still playing BioShock, and to the point where it's selling or searching high enough
Big
to.
series.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, maybe
Did BioShock just get to New Mexico? Sorry.
BioWare-
Sorry, New Mexico viewers.
BioWare get bought or something?
Well, BioWare was picked up by EA several years ago, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, BioWare's been part of EA.
2K is taking.
But when was the last BioShock game
Yeah, but it was
out?
developed. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's been a while.
anyway, but that was, I think, the only time that was on this list. New York, Grand Theft Auto. North Carolina, Grand Theft Auto. North Dakota, Stardew Valley.
Hey.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Ohio was Grand Theft Auto. Oklahoma, Tomb Raider.
What?
Nice. Good call.
I mean, that's cool, but that's not what
Now-
you expect in Oklahoma.
Tesla is a bit of a low-key gaming community down there. Tesla. Tulsa. Sorry.
Oh, Tulsa?
I was like, Tesla? What are you, Dan, saying Tesla's real big on gaming?
Shut up. Tulsa.
Tulsa.
I'm tripping over
Do you mean
words.
Tulsa?
Tulsa,
It's a
Oklahoma
hard word. There's 5 letters. It's really tough.
Is low-key a bit of a gaming hub.
But you would've
Tulsa
thought
is a
that
gaming hub, Dan says. Who knew?
a farming simulator in Oklahoma.
Yeah, well,
I can imagine, like, if you're in a state where there's lots of farming, you don't need to simulate the farming. You just go farm.
I don't know why somebody won't play a game. Like, that's everyday life for me.
Grand Theft Auto in New York kind of kills my theory, so never.
Yeah. You think New York's a little more sophisticated than Grand Theft Auto? Or
No, I'm saying like.
They like guns and violence
you
and-
live Grand Theft Auto.
Well,
every
that's
day.
true. It's more like every day. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Oregon. Elden Ring in Oregon. That seems about right. Let's see. Pennsylvania, Grand Theft Auto. Rhode Island, Portal. So Rhode Island and Florida are Portal. So I guess they could portal to
yeah.
each other. South Carolina, Tomb Raider. Yeah. South Dakota, Final Fantasy VII. That was the big one in South Dakota. Okay. Tennessee, Grand Theft Auto. Texas, Grand Theft Auto. Let's see.
Really? Come on, Texas.
Yeah, It's hard to beat, you know, guns and violence and bad language and stuff. Like it's just, you know, it's such a way of life in most of our country that it makes sense that would be the biggest game.
Wow.
But Utah, the one state with Zelda, Breath of the Wild. So, way to go, Utah. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So anyway, so I just thought that'd be fun to run down the whole list. And again, I know this was scientifically done, but at the same time, it's not really an exact science.
Science.
Yeah. Sometimes science is weird and gives you really unexpected results. And you know, we could probably do this again sometime and it wouldn't be the same.
Totally different.
Yeah. But it is surprising overall that Grand Theft Auto, after, you know, this many years, is still played. I mean, if 5 came out in 2013 and 6 is coming out soon, I think, like next year or something. But they've had all the different versions since then. They had the online one, they've had the expansion packs, and they've done... oh, hang on just a second. I think someone's going to join me on the show.
Here's the thing to me that makes this list a little... like... Like, there are kids who can't, like, Google all the time. Who are playing a lot of video games.
Yeah.
So, like, where's Pokemon?
Wait, are you saying kids can't Google?
My kids can't Google.
Your kids can Google.
No.
They Google when you're not around.
Oh, my God. Don't be Googling when your parents aren't around. No, I'm just saying, like...
They're on Google right now.
I'm just saying, like, they're not, like, where's Pokemon? That's all I have to say.
Wow. That was a very great contribution to the
Is that
show.
worth
Thank
me
you.
dipping in or no?
No.
Okay. Forget about it.
So yeah, so there it is. So there's your you know, most popular either played or searched for, or the science merging of those two categories for each state in the U.S. Was that all 50 states? Was anyone keeping score? Was that 50? Actually, it was 51. See, if you were keeping score, you would know it was 51 because we had District of Columbia in there. And it doesn't count, so I'm going to throw that one out. Puerto Rico's not a state either.
Start over.
Let's start over at the beginning. District of Columbia said Haiti, so I'm gonna strike that one from the list because they're not a state, so they don't get a vote. That's kind of their whole thing, isn't it? They don't get a vote. By the way, why isn't District of Columbia just part of Maryland? Why don't they just, you know, they want representation? Why don't they just give it back to Maryland? Because it was literally on the map, carved like a puzzle piece taken out of Maryland. Why don't they just give it back? Then all those people get votes, and we don't have to do the whole, like, now we have 51 states and, you know, ratify the, you know, the statehood and everything. And okay, never mind. We're getting to the political show. Yeah.
I'm just blankly staring now.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. So that's it on the feature section. So I thought that'd be fun. Did you have fun with that?
I did.
Yeah? Dan had fun. Okay. Well, cool. Well, let's go on to the boss battle, level 4, and see what the boss has been dealing with this week. And we're back with level 4, the boss battle. So this week in the boss battle, the thing that I've been battling is cleaning house. And so it's kind of a boring boss battle, but it's a necessary evil to life, I guess, is that you got to clean. And sometimes you got to clean house. And when we go to a CGF every year, we clear a lot of stuff out of the huge, very large, cavernous, product-filled warehouse that we operate out of here. So everything goes out to CGF. Then when it comes back, we have to like reorganize it back into its rightful place. And so we have to organize all the games back into our web stock room. We have to organize all the supplies and everything back into their, you know, little areas so that we can either store them for next year's CGF, or some of the stuff that we use for Game Over, you know, we store that so that we can access it throughout the year for Game Over. And also it just, you know, cleaning is really, you know, it's a really fun time for me. Like, I like organizing, and I like cleaning and arranging things and merchandising. Some of my favorite stuff to do, which is, I know, really sick and weird. But I like it. And so I've been cleaning house the past couple of weeks. That's been my boss battle. So, you know, a lot of things that we had set up a certain way before CGF, now that I had it all out and brought it all back in, kind of look at it, the space with fresh eyes, right? And so I've put things in some different areas. I've rearranged some stuff. And we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, too. Just things that, you know, aren't going to make it through, you know, to the next CGF, or or that aren't worth storing, for indefinitely in the back here. So we're trying to like make things a little nicer, a little neater, a little cleaner. So I've been doing that for the past couple of weeks now since CGF. It's basically taken this past 2 weeks to do it though, because I feel like I'm almost done now. Everything is just about where I want it, how I want it, in a good, nice, organized place. But it takes time to unload that stuff. We had just the merchandise at the Game Over booth. I think we had what about 50 or 60 tubs? Does that sound right, guys? Like 50 or 60 like Game Over tubs of just merch, just like the stuff we were selling at the booth. And then so whatever didn't sell, we brought back, and had to unpack all that stuff, re-alphabetize it, on the walls. And then, fixtures, we had, grid panels. We got the plexi display cases. We've got, shelves, hooks, all the, tablecloths and stuff like that. And lost and found, everything that came back with us. So I had to organize all that stuff. So it's now getting very nice and organized back here, which I love. So that's just been kind of a nice, it makes me feel more, at peace to have like a clean, organized workspace and work environment. So that's been nice. And for me, at, my job or jobs, I guess, Classic Game Fest is my big like summer thing. And so it gets really hectic, and there's a lot of planning that goes into it, a lot of, equipment that has to get hauled in to set it up. And then coming back, we've got to organize it all back. But then there's a dip. Like when I got back from CGF, like, a noticeable weight was off my shoulders. Just that, I was just able to breathe and relax and feel that weight kind of lift. And then getting organized here has helped me to also feel more, comfortable and back, kind of back to normal, but in a nicer, cleaner, better way at work. But then the other time, my other job, Game Over, that starts to spike around Black Friday. So in like November, December, those are the peak times there. So right now I'm entering kind of the dip between those two. So it's really crazy for me in the summer, and it's crazy for me around the holidays. But like September and October is kind of like a chill time. So it's kind of the calm between the storms. And so now Black Friday, believe it or not, is like just over like 100 days away, something like that, about 3 months away, a little over 3 months away. Crazy, right? But it's coming. So we're going to plan some big sales and stuff for that. But anyway, so long story short, it's just the boss battle this week has been, a lot of just me, kind of organizing things and getting back into the flow here at HQ. And that's been really nice. So sometimes the boss battles, even though it's a lot of work to move things and organize and all that, it also can be very rewarding when it's done, because then you see a kind of a new space or a reimagined space and less clutter, and that all just, it makes everybody feel good coming to work. So I don't like a mess. I don't like walking through a mess. So I feel better now. So that's it. So that's been my boss battle. And thank you also for your patience on email responses, because part of my other recovery from CGF is like my Game Over emails were like, just crazy. I get like 100 emails a day, and even though a lot of that is crap and like solicitors and stuff like that, there's still a good chunk every day that I actually need to and have to respond to. And so for some of you that may wonder, like, wow, it's been like a week before and I haven't heard back from David yet, like, I am still alive and I will get to you. But my email box is just now getting back to kind of a manageable size, because I've been doing that in addition to the organizing here, over these past couple weeks to catch back up from CGF. So now I can officially say that boss battle is over. I'm clean, I'm organized, I'm caught up on email, and I'm ready for the calm, relaxing next couple months before we start building up the hype and the stress and the pressure again as Black Friday approaches. So that's it for the boss battle. So now let's go to the bonus level and fan feedback. And we're back with the bonus level, fan feedback. So we're going to wrap up the show, go through all your comments and suggestions and all the feedback we've had for the past couple of weeks. And a lot of this is CGF related, which is great because everybody went to CGF, everybody had a blast. So I really appreciate the comments and keep those coming. Be sure and also post your pictures from CGF. If you were a vendor or an attendee, post to your social media channels, your zip chats and snapgrams and all that books of faces and everything. Post it and tag Classic Game Fest so we can see your pics. But comments on the show last time. Larry, I'm doing you first today, Larry. Larry says, how my dudes?
Good, Larry.
We dudes be good. So Larry, he grabbed me appropriately at CGF, so thank you. He said he was going to find me and he was going to grab me, and he did.
Wow.
And he was gentle. So thank you, Larry. So he said it was great to see me and Dan, and he got to meet your brother, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got to see your brother at CGF, which was really cool. Like briefly, I think I saw him and I was like, "Great to see you. I got to get out of here. I got something else going on. I don't have any time right now to talk."
Hi, Adam.
But yeah, shout out to Adam. So he's super cool, and he looks so different. Like I haven't seen him in I guess 10 years, 15 years or something. I don't know, but very nice guy. But yeah, so Larry got to meet him too, so that's cool. Let's see. Larry says thanks for the improved arcade area. Yeah, did y'all like the arcade this year?
Yes.
There were more machines, but even more so than that, it wasn't up in that tiny little room upstairs. It was downstairs in the main hall, and so we really had some extra space to kind of spread them out a little bit more, so you didn't feel like you were, having to play with like your elbows kind of scrunched in between all the arcades and all the crowd, crowd of people and everything. Man, I'm sorry. Okay. So improved arcade area. He also got to meet Daniel Pacina, which he was really excited about. Mr. Mortal Kombat. He was able to meet him and said he was a super nice guy. Massive turnout, very impressive. So yes, I agree. It was a crazy turnout, super impressive to all of us. We were just blown away by the crowd. So it was fantastic. So that's it. So he says, love you guys. Creative Mind Frame, one up.
Yo.
My master MC of CGF, the official now MC of CGF for years to come. So he was the jack of all trades. He runs the costume contest. He plays instruments. He performs. He's American Ninja Warrior. So he's freaking amazing. Cool, so yeah, when I die, I'm leaving it all to him. So Emmanuel, you got to run all this someday. So yeah, he was there. He saw the show. He saw Dan.
Yeah.
At CGF, yeah. So Dan's up there recording, especially like the costume contest and stuff. That we get to kind of all hang out for a couple hours doing that on Sundays. So anyway, so shout out to Creative Mind Frame. So check him out too. He does a lot of Twitch streaming with Rocket League. So just look for his group on that. Let's see. So then we got a comment from Ryan. CGF is his favorite convention every year. He says keep up the great work. So thank you. Let's see. Awesome video. Keep up the great work. So thank you. Let's see. Have a great summer. Okay, so we got a comment here on the last show. Like we had this. I don't know why we set this up. I guess just a couple weeks ago did this, but I think every week on the show I build my little collection of stuff.
Yeah.
So like by the end of the year, I'm gonna be buried. It's gonna be like seeing E.T. in the closet, where it's just gonna be my little face, but all this other stuff around where you can barely tell that I'm alive in the middle. But yeah, so he thought this was pretty cool that a couple of times in the show I accidentally knocked the stormtrooper off, but then like was able to do the show and catch it.
Yeah.
So he's like, my balancing skills were like on point. I didn't even miss a step when I had to fix them. So yeah, thank you. So thank you for that. Let's see. And he says, if the scout trooper can balance on Spider-Man, life is easy. Which I think we should all write that down as words to live by. If you can balance your stormtrooper on your Spider-Man, what the hell else matters in life?
Really? I mean,
like, that's success right there. That's a success story. Look how happy Spider-Man is. He's got his friend up on his shoulders, and together they're going to conquer the world. So, yeah, good stuff. Let's see. Another comment. Somebody commented, said, I was in the background of her photos. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to photobomb. So I'm sorry if I ruined your pictures by being in the background. Probably like, huh? What? Probably like running around or having some crazy look on my face.
Accidental photobombing.
Yes, accidental. So, but anyway, I hope the photos still turned out okay in spite of that. But she didn't realize until days later, and then I guess saw the video of me or whatever, and was like, hey, that guy in the background that looks really weird and stressed out, and it's like running around crazy in that freaking yellow shirt. He's in my photo. So anyway, yeah, that was me. Let's see. Ricky says, thanks for the CGF recap. He said it was a great convention, too. He and his family went, had a great time. And he was asking, he said he saw a crowd at the ticket counter on Sunday afternoon. And he's like, were people still buying tickets? And the answer is yes, they were. I saw that same thing because I was going, I think, where was I going? Maybe after the costume contest. Like the costume contest ends at like 3, I think, on Sunday. And the event closes at 5 on Sunday. And so at some point after that, like between 3:30, or so, I was walking by the front counter and yeah, people were buying tickets. People bought tickets even after 5 o'clock to get in on Sunday just for that last hour.
Crazy, dude.
So yeah, new people were still coming in. Like that's how successful it was. That there was still enough stuff for sale, enough of a draw, like event-wise and vendor-wise and everything, that yeah, our vendors stayed full and were selling merchandise until the last minute of the show, and people were buying tickets until the last minute of the show. So crazy but true. Yes. Let's see. Also, he asked about the long walk, like when you enter the center and you had to walk all the way around to the doors on the other side. Like, why did we do that? And I think he actually, I didn't write this down, but I think he also kind of hypothesized why that was. But the reason that we have the entrance on the other side is so that we can have that table right by the stairs. So it kind of draws attention to the stairs, so that because we have our panels and bands and everything upstairs. And, you know, ever since we started using the whole building, like upstairs and downstairs, there's tons of people every year that are like, where's the stage? You know, where's the stairs? How do I get upstairs?
That's smart.
And so, you know, there's only one set of stairs and only one elevator in that whole building. And we put our table that sells tickets right in between them. So if people ask, you know, they're coming in and they see, like, that's the elevator, those are the stairs, that's how you get up to the second floor. And so without that, if we went in the other doors on the south side, it would be shorter for lines, but that would also mean that that people might come into the show from that side and never see the stairs, the elevator, and never know where they were. So it's that, like, subliminal part of the brain that, like, if you see stairs when you come in the door and you go inside and then you're like, oh, I want to do something that's upstairs, how do I get there? And then you think, aha, I remember seeing stairs when I came in. That's where those stairs are. So I don't know. It's not to torture y'all and make you walk all around the building. I know it kind of sucks, but the plus side is, in the morning when you get there, the line is in the building that way. It's air conditioned.
Yeah,
so otherwise, if we started on the other side, the line would probably be out the doors and you'd be out in the heat, which was probably like 90 degrees even early in the morning this year. Since in the afternoon, I think on CGF weekend, it was like 103 or 104. It's crazy. Let's see. More questions about CGF. Volunteers versus staff, like asking how many people, because I said I'd signed up 30 volunteers and got about 20 that showed up. And so the ones that showed up are awesome. And the ones that didn't, yeah, some of them had good excuses. They got COVID or whatever. And so I get it, but like it kind of sucks because we were shorthanded at the show. And staff, same thing. Like the ones that were there were awesome. And so I think ultimately we ended up with, we wanted 30 volunteers and had about 20. And staff-wise, I think we'd planned for about 20 to 25, and we had about 15 to 20. So we were about 5-ish down on staff and about 10 down on volunteers. So that's 15 people. That's a lot. That's a lot of hands and help that we were down. So that's part of the reason I was, you know, running around crazy. There's always some reason, partly that I'm just crazy, but that's the reason this time. Yeah, so that's normally how it works out. And the volunteers obviously do it for free. They do it for, you know, they get a T-shirt, they get free ticket. You know, they work a shift in whatever, you know, capacity, like watching the doors or whatever, and then they're, you know, can enjoy the event the rest of the weekend. So it's a pretty cool deal for them. And then the paid staff from Game Over, you know, we always have, you know, some of the Game Over people that, you know, by choice or by force, come help, and we always appreciate them, and they are paid. So that's, you know, we have to have some paid staff so that, you know, I can really, you know, count on people in a higher capacity than you can a volunteer. You know, volunteers are great and they do a whole lot, and we wouldn't be able to put on CGF without them. You know, but there's definitely a lot of tasks that you really have to have, you know, paid people that you know, that you trust, and that, you know, that you have assigned to certain things. And when it comes to like handling money and stuff like that, it's always better to have paid than volunteers. Anyway, so that's about how the staff broke down. But he said otherwise, you know, that CGF was great. So he looks forward to it every year. You know, we look forward to it every year. It's definitely a huge undertaking. But it's always worth it. You know, I always stress out, you know, as we build up to CGF, and then it's crazy that weekend. It's always like a blur, right? Like it flies by. And then it's Sunday night and everything is just like poof, it just disappears. Like the setup seems to take forever, and the build up over the weeks leading up to it takes forever. But then the teardown between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock on Sunday night, it's like when the circus leaves town, you know, and it's just like you have this whole circus like set up, like tents and everything in the parking lot, and then you go there a couple hours later and it's just gone, just empty parking lot. And that's how this was. It was like 3 hours later, it was empty. So it's amazing how fast it comes down every year. But then the next week, like, there's a lot of cleanup, and so I talked about that in the show. But it's also just amazing looking back on, like, how much went into that, and how great it was and huge it was, and then it's just gone, and then you start thinking of the next one and start planning for the next one. So yes, so I'm glad everybody came to CGF and enjoyed it. The next one next summer will definitely be just as good, if not bigger. Yeah. And we're planning that right now. We're working on the preliminary stuff right now. We'll be getting the website updated, the trailer, trying to get everybody their T-shirts that didn't get one this year, and working on some kind of last minute things like that. Get the lost and found stuff picked up. So you people email me if you're missing credit cards. But yeah, so the planning for 2023 is already underway. It's already getting started. It is literally a year-round thing now. So I hope everybody's excited and will come again next year. So that's it for the show. So thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you follow us on YouTube, if you subscribe, you get the little bell, you get the little ding dong. There's a new video from that ding dong. So definitely check that out. Also, if you watch or listen on an audio podcast, we really appreciate that. Yeah, so any way you watch or listen to the show is much appreciated. Thanks for coming to CGF, supporting that event. Thanks for shopping at Game Over stores. All of that helps produce, this, which then feeds back into the retro community. So it's a big circle of retro gaming love, and we appreciate it. Gaming love. Yeah, that's good. So Dan's got a song about retro gaming love. So thanks for everybody's support. I hope you all have a great week. It's still hot as hell around most of the country, so stay inside, crank the AC, play some retro games, and we'll see you next time on Game Overcast. So, game over.
All right, Funky Bunch.
All right.
Let's go. 3.
Hey, wait, does that make me Marky Mark?
Yes.
Because I'm in charge, right? And you guys are my funky bunch.
Yes.
All right.
I'm funky.
I'm Marky Mark, and I'm here to move you. I was explaining that to my kids recently, like like Mark Wahlberg is in Transformers and stuff, and I'm like, that guy, he sings that song, "Good Vibrations."
They didn't know that song.
Well, they hear it on the radio. They've heard it before.
Because of you.
Well, because that's what I listen to. Yeah, it's not really their choice, but when they're in my car, I'm sorry, it's like 80s and 90s. That's what they get.
What are you gonna do?
That's what they get. Sorry, change your DJ.